Welcome to Talitarka, Hitesh.
Thank you.
We want to know about your journey as a writer in this industry.
Started in 2008.
Okay.
Actually, started in 2007.
Okay.
I used to write promos for all the channel shows
Okay.
and was always interested in packaging. So got in touch with Seema and Sudhir, who
Right.
used to rule the packaging world at that point of time and used to do interesting program packagings for all the shows.
Right.
Shot with them a couple of times, and suddenly they got an offer of a show called Mile Jab Hum Tum
Right.
on Star One.
Right.
Since I was always interested in writing, they offered me if I was willing to write that, and I agreed,
Right.
and that's how it started.
Right. So, as a writer, I mean, you said you always were interested in writing. So, tell us before you got into writing series and the promos, what did you do in terms of writing, if anything?
I started at the age of 18
Okay.
in Delhi,
Uh-huh.
and I started with the FM channel, the government FM channel. I used to write this show called 10 se 11 in Delhi
Okay.
as a ghost writer.
Okay.
That was my first job.
Okay.
So this was a weekly show which used to have lots of humor, lots of songs, lots of slice of life kind of things.
Right.
So started with that. Went on to do lot of small jobs as a writer, copywriter, and all that.
Okay.
Before I came to Bombay and started assisting one of the shows on ETV Hindi
Okay.
called Phir Bhi.
Okay.
I used to assist Ravi Oja
Okay.
and worked there for like 5-6 months, and after that suddenly I realized that I've got through National Institute of Design,
Okay.
Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
So went there, studied film and video, made lots of short films,
Okay.
stayed there for around 3.5-4 years and came back to Bombay.
Right. So,
came-
what is your take on NID?
I think it's a wonderful place,
Agreed.
and I think I made the right decision going there because it gave me a platform to look at the whole industry in a very from a vantage point of view, if I may say that,
Right.
and then choose where I belong or where I should set up my and how should I go about my career.
Right.
So in that sense, I think I got a lot of confidence in my abilities there
Okay.
after making the short films and going through all the festivals and all those things. I think my kind of storytelling got a lot of confidence in that, basically.
Right.
So, and at the same time, it's not just, NID is not just about film.
Agreed.
So there are like host of other design professionals
True.
studying with me, be it animation, be it graphics, be it product. So there was this not just like a linear way of looking at things from one point of view.
Right.
So got to do a lot of things, and not just writing or direction or otherwise, but even got to do camera, got to do sound, got to do each and everything possible.
Right.
So you get a whole range of kind of you get trained quite well there.
Right. So then, moving to writing, what made you decide leaving video film production to this?
See, I was DNA. My DNA was always a writer's
Writer.
DNA. So I was always a writer, and then went on who might want to become a director.
Right.
So the writing was always the basis of everything. Even if I'm thinking about a short film or something, I would think the idea first. I would write it down first,
Okay.
and then, and anyways, direction. One of the pillars is writing.
Agreed.
So I was always interested in writing. When I came to Bombay first, I joined advertising
Okay.
as in a production house.
Right.
Assisted there for a year or so, but I got quite bored with the whole repetition of good shots and soap and all those things that you have to sell.
Right.
So after getting bored from that, I left the job. I didn't have anything for like nearly 6 months, a year. I didn't have any work.
Okay.
I was looking around for work, and and again, like always, writing came to my rescue.
Right.
I could write humor, so promos became my
Forte.
yeah, and that's how I met Seema and Sudhir, and that's how television began.
Right. Now, jumping to the current projects that you're doing, one is Humse Hai Life and the other one is Pyar Ko Kya Naam Do.
Yeah.
So tell us about those projects. We'll of course touch on the other projects a little later as well.
Okay.
But tell us about those stories that you've written. And the dialogues that you write in there, of course. The famous one being hello, hi, bye bye.
इस प्यार को क्या नाम दूँ literally fell in my lap.
Okay.
I was meeting Gorky, Nisar and Gul for Humse Hai Life regularly
Right.
since January last. And I was in constant meetings, and while I was sitting with Gorky and Nisar, there's always used to be this commotion in the house for इस प्यार को क्या नाम दूँ.
Okay.
So I used to keep hearing the story, अच्छा हाँ ये कहानी है, अच्छा ऐसा है, quite interesting, this and that. But I never thought that one day I'll get a call and they'll say कि would you want to write dialogues for इस प्यार को क्या नाम दूँ.
Right.
The story was such and the characters were so varied and vivid that I gave in to the whole thing of yes, I want to write for
Yeah.
these characters.
Right.
And once I started, it was like every day was like I remember first 5-6 episodes I used to get a call from the creative saying कि आज इसकी entry है, आज इसकी entry है, आज इसकी entry. So first 6 episodes I was just writing entries,
Okay.
and each character had a different flavor, different way of speaking.
True.
That always excites me. If I can differentiate between my characters just through lines, through
Right.
dialogues,
Right.
I think which is the basic.
Differentiating the characters.
Yeah. So I am always interested in things like if a single line or a set of lines can differentiate between a host of characters within a show or within any creative piece. So that interested me a lot in Is Pyar Ko Kya Naam Do. Apart from the story, which I thought was a take on the characters was quite different, and it is something which was not regularly seen in the GEC space currently.
Very true.
So that is what got me hooked on to Is Pyar Ko Kya Naam Do. And as far as Hello Hi Bye Bye is concerned, Gul literally got it out of me
Okay.
because I think I was not getting Mami's character initially. A couple of times I was writing maybe English words a little too heavy for the masses to understand, and maybe if not, then I was using them too less.
Right.
So then she said that you have to think of a refrain which the masses will understand. At the same time, it can become the thing for Mami. And I thought of something which we used to use when we were kids,
Right.
like hello, hi, bye, bye. So that's how it came along.
And it has kind of defined Mami now.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the reaction, but yeah, it's heartening to know that.
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, even the other one, I know I spoke with Gautam about that, but the Khoon Bari Tang and
Yeah.
the Patti Sari,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think her dialogues are just immensely hilarious. And beyond that, which other character you feel is someone that you enjoy writing dialogues for?
Two characters especially. One is Khushi, definitely,
True.
because of the whole spunk and the despite the spunk, the rootedness in the character.
Right.
And this whole thing which Gul briefed me, the one and only thing which sets the character apart is कि डरती है पर करती है. So each time I write her dialogues, I keep this thing in mind कि डरती है पर करती
करती
है.
है.
So I think it defines her space quite nicely. And apart from her, Sham's character is another thing which I really like to write because his basic thing is he's a negative character.
Very true.
But the way he had to be portrayed, especially in the first 150 episodes, was like a true charmer, like a very good person at heart, and especially his entry
Yeah.
when he saves Khushi. All those things were like totally like a protagonist.
Right.
Like he was looking like the second lead.
Very true.
So I think these two characters I really love to write.
Right. Now, coming from a GEC genre to the completely youth genre in Humse Hai Life, how do you differentiate different characters in terms of dialogues?
It's a little difficult because normally most of the youth, if you observe, speak in a very similar kind of lingo.
Right.
So the only thing that can differentiate them is the background that they're coming from as a character.
True.
Like a Sia comes from a very Adarsh colony, very small town, kind of a ghetto type of a colony. So her rootedness of her character will define her, and at the same time, her Raghav is defined by the fact he's always lived in riches. He's a rich guy. He doesn't value money as much as a Sia would.
True.
So those are the things where they come from will define their lines. So that's how, and obviously the lingo is like Sia will not use English words so easily. I remember there was one episode in which she came to Elite, and someone told her PDA कि ये PDA बहुत करते हैं. So suddenly when she used it with Arjun, she said कि मुझे वो PTO पसंद नहीं है. So then Arjun corrected, said PTO नहीं होता, PDA होता है. So I think those kind of things were quite charming in a character.
Yeah.
Like both, even Sia and both Raghav and Sia are playing youth characters.
Right.
But that's how our youth has, like in India, these are the different kinds of youth, if you can say, are there. Like one coming from a small town who might not be knowing much English or all those things, but they are still as cued in
Yeah.
than with a Raghav
Very
who knows
true.
everything.
Very true. Very true. Now, tell us about the other projects that have, or hold a special place in your heart.
Mile Jab Hum Tum, definitely,
Right.
because that was my first show, and writing 400 odd episodes was quite a thing for me, because television being a new medium for me at that point of time, like it was like a never-ending process. But with each episode, with each passing month, I was figuring out something new in each character.
Right.
So Mile Jab Hum Tum, definitely. Like from Mile Jab Hum Tum, I was doing only dialogues.
Right.
So when I got this opportunity for Humse Life, it was like a one step forward in terms of graduation, like
True.
in terms of concept, story, screenplay, and dialogues
And
also. So you have a better control over the story, over the characters, and how things are going.
True.
So at the same time, it takes a lot of time
Right.
doing everything. Not many people do it these days, and not many people do it any which ways.
Right.
So it occupies most of my time. And then Is Pyar Ko Kya Naam Do is another thing which occupies quite a lot of my time. So I don't think I have much time.
Room for anything else right
anything
now.
more.
Right. Now, when we talk about Humse Hai Life particularly, because you're doing the whole situation from, like I would look at it like a novel, where you do everything from characterization to what twists are coming in to what are the situations, circumstances,
Right.
to of course the dialogues.
Right.
So how do you work on a story in this particular scenario? What was given to you and how did you develop the characters?
See, it was a blank page.
Okay. Nice.
And,
that's good to work with, isn't it?
I love that. I think every writer, every creative person would love to work with a blank page.
Very true.
It's scary as much as it is exciting. And that's why it's exciting.
Right.
But yeah, we worked with the larger story in terms of, and if I may say that the larger story is more like a film. You think of it like a story of a film. This happens and you have a proper character arc. This is where it starts and this is where it ends. But when you come on to writing it at a daily level, I think television as a medium, it's a completely different kind of writing from film.
Right.
A film, you have 70, 75 odd scenes, and each of those scenes will have a proper arc to it.
Right.
But in television, it's like a member of a family. Like suppose, if I may use the example, like your dad comes home every day from office. You don't ask him every day, okay dad, what's your story? You live with him.
Very true.
Okay, today this happened. He will tell you, okay, this happened in the office, this guy said this said this, then this happened. You live with him. Then the next day you don't know.
Very true.
When he'll come back, you'll ask him again, okay dad, what happened today? You don't ask him, okay, where will this end?
Yeah.
Where will it go?
Right.
But yeah, at some point of time, suddenly your dad will come and say, okay, I got a promotion today.
Right.
And that's a high point.
Very true.
So I think television is like that.
Okay.
It's a member of your family. You have to live with it every day.
Right.
And the moments are those small moments within that larger story. that you've thought of.
Right.
So I think I work like that.
Okay.
I work very intuitively. I know, okay, this character needs to reach here in these number of episodes.
Right.
And now in these 10 episodes, these are the moments which I need to create, and most of them come naturally because each character will lend itself to certain kind of moments. Like a Raghav being a mischievous, a fun-loving character will automatically lend itself to lots of naughtiness, lots of mischief happening, lots of pranks, lots of leg pulling and all those things. So automatically a character is giving you some moments. A Sia will automatically give you a sense of rootedness in the story.
Right.
So you live with those characters and you see how those moments can be enhanced.
Right.
So basically, I just do a job of making a bridge from point A to point B and trying to make that bridge very interesting.
Right.
So that when a person is crossing that bridge, it's interesting enough to. The visual is interesting and the characters come out as an interesting member of one of your family.
Right. So, as what would be your tip to an aspiring writer?
Just right. I think, which I won't say that I have too much of experience, but it's been a good experience. But yeah, I've realized that in television, it's as much. It's not just about creativity, but it's about creativity along with longevity.
Right.
So I can be refreshing one day, I can be refreshing tomorrow, I can be refreshing maybe for a week. But to be refreshing each day of the month, every day, with every episode, with every character, with every line, I think that's what defines a television writer.
Writing.
So a film begins, you work on it, and it ends.
Right.
Television process, it goes on for quite some time.
True.
And I think that's what an aspiring writer should try to concentrate on, to develop a certain style which they know that they can carry it day in and day out.
True.
I think that's what, it's more about practice, it's about everyday writing.
Okay.
Writing becoming a second instinct.
Okay. Great.
That
Now, what are your aspirations as a writer? Is it television for you right now? I know you said that you try to do one thing at a time.
Yeah, right.
But what are your aspirations? Films, novels, anything else?
Yeah, film is definitely an aspiration. Novels also, I have it in mind, but not in the recent future. See, whatever I do, I've done street plays also, I've written for theatre also in a small way. I've written jingles also. I've written wherever I get to create
Right.
a character or a story which can touch people at large.
Right.
I think that's what I want to do.
Right.
Whether it's a film, whether it's a TV show, or whether it's anything.
Right.
But the need to performance, basically the need to hold an audience in awe, to control their emotions, or rather to direct their emotions, to make them laugh, to make them cry,
Right.
to make them feel something.
Right.
I think any medium that will allow me to do that, I would love to do.
Work there. Great. Now, one other thing, of course, congratulations on your new baby, your first baby.
Thank you.
And we hope you have a fabulous success as a writer in whichever medium you choose to be in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hitesh.
Thank you very much.